Hey everyone, my name is Carstati, and welcome to a little bit of a different video than I normally do. I thought I'd do something fun. I mean, if you want to call it that. I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to have fun with it. But it's just addressing myths about Christianity, which is my religion. So this is more of a religious topic video, and YouTube might get mad at me for doing this. I don't know how that all works, because I know YouTube doesn't like religion, which is fine. That's fine. You be you. You do you. But I just thought I'd address some myths about it, because a lot of people don't know I don't want to say anything, but they've had bad experiences with Christianity in the past, or they've heard bad things about it from people. And so they think it's all these like rules and regulations and stuff like that, which not really. It's not. So I found a list online of some common myths about Christianity, and I'm going to look at each of them and kind of give my 2 cents about them and maybe explain it a little bit better to you guys. So yeah, let's get on with the video. The first myth is people become Christians through social conditioning, which basically what I'm gaining from that is they mean like their upbringing, so how their parents raised them. So yes and no, you can become a Christian that way. That's kind of how it was meant to be. That's kind of how God designed it. However, they're more often than not, from my own observations and what I've found in the Bible and stuff, it's people who find out about Christianity later in life, and then they turn their life around and then start heading that way. So for me, I was brought up in it, so I guess it could be social conditioning. But it's not just that. I don't know if they're saying people become Christians only through social conditioning, but it's not that way, no. The next myth is that Christianity is a crutch for the weak. No, absolutely not. It is not a crutch, because a crutch implies that you have like a problem and you need to cover it up and you need some type of aid and whatnot. Everybody has that, let's face it. Everybody's got problems. Nobody's perfect. If there's a perfect person, I want to know about them, because I'd like to know their secrets. But it's not a crutch for the weak, because if you think about it, everybody has problems. I have problems. I got stuff I'm working with. I got stuff I'm working through all the time. Really, all Christianity is just a relationship with God. That's really all it is. There's no need to like over formalize it or whatever. It's just a relationship with God. I mean, you should still have some respect in that, but that's literally all Christianity is a relationship with God, and just knowing God and like praying and being like learning more about him. Because all God wants is to have a relationship with you and to get to know you, which is really cool if you think about it. And most people can't get past the fact that they're like talking about that, like, if, for example, if I'm talking about what God wants and whatnot, I can understand how people have doubts about Christianity and whether or not God exists. But here's something to chew on. If God made it so that he could prove his own existence to everybody else on earth, then it wouldn't be a special kind of relationship or love. Because, for example, to put this into context, prearranged marriages, they used to happen all the time. But it wasn't like true love as the modern culture calls it, because the people were forced to be together. I mean, it's not really a great analogy, but can you kind of get where I'm going with this? God didn't put solid, like, tangible evidence of his existence on the earth, because it wouldn't be genuine love. I kind of rabbit trailed on that, but we might go into a different one a little bit deeper in the future in one of these, so we'll see. Next one: Christianity stifles personal freedom. Well, there are a lot of people have different definitions of freedom. However, if you're thinking like about all the rules and whatnot, and it's literally all you gotta do to be a Christian is be nice. Literally, that's summed up, and you just gotta love people. Like, you have the whole 10 commandments from the Old Testament and whatnot, which, by the way, Old Testament stuff, we should learn from it, but if you're like basing all the rules off of the Old Testament, that's a no-no. It's not necessarily no, but you shouldn't do that, because you don't need to do that, because we have a New Testament and we live in the New Testament, which is since Jesus came and kind of changed stuff, and then grace came in, and that's a big factor now. So literally, Jesus said, "A new commandment I give unto you, that you should love one another as I've loved you." That's That's like all you gotta do. Just love people and you love God, and then everything else comes naturally. It's that easy. It's really easy. If I can do it, anybody else can do it. I'm gonna read what they said here just a little bit. It says researchers at Harvard, Duke, and other universities have found that Christian faith and church attendance are associated with less social isolation, lower risk of substance abuse, lower rates of suicide, greater happiness, and life satisfaction. This does not sound like people who are not free. Jesus' truth sets us free from self-deception. False freedom can actually lead a person into behaviors that result in life-controlling issues. Yeah, so the idea of personal freedom in the world's view is stuff like being able to drink heavily and get drunk and whatnot, which, yeah, that's a no-no. That is not encouraged in Christianity. And then people will have the excuse of like, well, Jesus drank wine. He did. Everybody in that time period drank wine. You know why they drink wine, though? Because their only other option was polluted water. I mean, who wants to drink polluted water? That's nasty. It's okay to consume alcohol as a Christian, like, socially and whatnot. It's not okay to abuse it, you know? I personally, when I'm of age, because I'm not of age to legal age to consume alcohol, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay away from it. It's my personal choice. It has nothing to do with religion. It's just because I've had bad family experiences with alcohol, and it kind of left a little bit of emotional scarring on me. So I'm just kind of going to stay away from that. But it doesn't stifle personal freedom. It doesn't. If anything, it sets you freer, if that's a word. The next one, Christianity is irrelevant to modern life. False. It is not irrelevant to modern life. So the thing, here's the stuff, okay? We live in America, the United States of America. We are the most successful, the most civilized, I don't want to say civilized, but we're the most successful, like, maybe not even successful, but like America has the most opportunity out of any country in the history of the world, okay? With that, we've become a very narcissistic and self-centered culture. So when everything's about you and your Instagram page and your Facebook page and your YouTube channel, then it's kind of easy to forget about God and whatnot. So that's kind of what's happened with the United States over the course of 200 or so years that we've been a country. You know, it was founded on God. The country was founded on God. The Constitution literally is like I forget the exact ratio, but I took a civics class last year for school, and it was like, I want to say it was 1/3 or 2/3 of the Constitution is like straight out of the Bible. So that's something to chew on, maybe something to think about. I don't know. It's not irrelevant to modern life. And the whole idea when they created the Constitution is that they created it on principles. It was based on principles. It wasn't based on specific instances in specific situations, so that it could be applied years and years down the road when life changes, because they could see based on past experiences that people change, the world changes as time moves on. So they founded it on principles instead of specific scenarios, which is why it still applies today. So just how the Constitution was founded on principles, the Bible is founded on principles as well, which is how it applies to modern life. And you can't say it doesn't apply to modern life if you haven't read it. That's all I'm going to say to that. Because if you read it and really like try to understand it, then it does apply. It does apply. You know, the whole 9 yards applies. It's great. I think people just get they think it's very like old fashioned. And it is. It's from a long time ago. It's from like, don't even ask me how long ago the Bible was written. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with history, if you haven't noticed. I'm in the STEM stuff, science, technology, engineering, and math. That's my thing. I'm not great with history at all. I mean, the Bible is old-fashioned, kind of. Yeah, I mean, there's different versions of it. If you look at the King James Version, it's all like the thous and arts and whatnot, because that's the first translation into English from, it was like the King James English. From Greek, which is what the Bible was written in beforehand, I believe. Don't quote me on that. It was like one of those kind of languages. It's definitely not irrelevant to modern life, though. I think people just get too consumed with like this sort of thing. Like you're watching this video right now, and you get so consumed with this, and then you're probably going to binge watch another video, and then probably another one. Hope it's mine. But eventually you just get so consumed with that you forget everything else, and it's easy to worship that sort of thing. instead of worship God and like spend time with God. I'm gonna pull up the official definition of worship because I feel like the word worship makes some people uncomfortable when they hear it. Not gonna lie, it kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable when I hear the word worship, but that's, I don't know why, but it just is. So the official definition of worship is: worship is an act of religious devotion usually directed towards a deity. An act of worship may be performed individually in a informal, whatever, group, or by a designated leader. Such acts may involve honoring. So it's literally just like honoring some similar, never mind. It's literally just like showing your dedication and devotion and honoring that. So literally all worship is, you can worship through everything you do if you do it for the right reasons. If you're like helping somebody just because it's what God says to do, and because you want to show God's love to other people, then that's worship. That could be worship. It's cool. It's cool. Wow, it's been 15 minutes already. Wow, this is a really fun video. I like this. So that's just a few myths about Christianity. If you have any questions about it, please leave a comment down below and I will get back to you via comments, not via another video, because that'd be way too many videos to make. So yeah, I tried my best to read and respond. I actually read all your comments, by the way, so all of like 2 I get per video. But I try my best to read and respond to all the comments, so I will definitely do that on this video. And I understand it might get a little bit more traffic than usual, and this is not a normal video that I make. But it's fun. I like it. I've been meaning to do something like this for a little while now, so I figured today's the day, just like that meme from Nemo, which is it's probably my favorite movie.
My throat's going because I've been singing all day.
I don't know. Anyways, I'm running out of time before my camera shuts off. So that is about all the time I got. Thank you again. If you have any questions about it, leave it in the comments. If you like this video, give it a like. And if you didn't like it, give it a dislike. That's fine. Totally fine. I don't care. You do you. So thank you for watching, and I will see all y'all in the next one. Stay frosty, folks. Bye.